Have you ever been totally stuck making a big decision? I think we all have. Now, we usually think of grammar as, a bunch of boring rules from school. But what if I told you it's actually a practical toolkit for making smarter choices? In this explainer, we're going to see how grammar can work just like an economist scale, helping you weigh your options and find the right answer.
So, let's meet Elena. Picture this. She's staring at her bank account, and she is completely stressed out. She's got two rental offers on the table. One is a small, kind of pricey apartment right in the heart of the city. The other? A bigger, more affordable house way out in the suburbs. It's a classic dilemma, right? And the pressure is definitely on.
So, to help her out, Elena's friend David introduces her to this method he calls the Economist's kit. And get this, he claims the key to the right choice isn't just about the numbers, it's about grammar. Yeah, a set of simple language tools that can bring some serious clarity to really complex decisions.
Okay, so the first tool in this kit is all about getting the measurements right. We're talking about quantifiers. Basically, these are words that help us define the scale of our problem, by pointing out what's too much, and they also point us toward the solution by defining what is just enough.
And this concept is actually super simple, but really powerful. The word too basically acts like a problem detector. When you say something is too much or too many, you're not just stating a fact. You're identifying a roadblock, right? A negative limit that's stopping you from moving forward.
So, as Alina is thinking about that city apartment, one thought just cuts through all the noise. It costs too much money. Boom. That single phrase nails down the core problem. The price isn't just high, it's an excessive barrier. And just like that, one side of her decision scale gets a whole lot heavier.
Okay, so if too is the problem, then enough is the solution. Think about it. Enough represents that sweet spot, that perfect amount where a need is finally met and a goal is reached. It's the target we're aiming for, the point where that roadblock just disappears.
And this is where Elena has her breakthrough moment. After going over her savings, she realizes, wait a minute, I have enough money for the deposit. See, this isn't just about the numbers on a screen. It's a total shift in perspective. She's just identified a real, viable path forward. She's met the condition for one of her options.
Now, here's a quick but really crucial grammar point you gotta know. The position of enough actually changes depending on what it's describing. So, it comes before a noun, like in enough money, but it comes after an adjective, like in this room is big enough. It seems like a small detail, I know, but getting it right makes your logic crystal clear.
All right, so our measurements are clear. Now, the second tool in our kit is what helps us weigh the options directly against each other. And for this, we're going to use comparatives. So, this is how we compare things to see which one has more of a certain quality. And the rule is actually pretty simple. For short, one-syllable adjectives, you just add than. For longer ones, with two or more syllables, you just put more in front of it. This simple structure, it's literally the engine of our decision-making scale.
So, let's look at Elena's situation again. The suburbs are cheaper than the city. Okay, that's a clear point for the house. And on the flip side, the city center is more expensive than the village. You see how these comparisons start painting a really clear picture? The scale is definitely starting to tip.
But hang on. Comparisons aren't always about which option is better or worse, right? I mean, sometimes two things can be equal in a certain way, and we need a tool to express that kind of balance.
And for that, we use the structure as. It's absolutely perfect for highlighting when two different options share a quality to the exact same degree. So you can say something is as comfortable as something else, or, on the negative side, that it is not as cheap as another option. So Elena might be thinking, well, the city flat is as comfortable as the house, even though it's smaller. Or David might chime in with a bigger picture idea, pointing out that, hey, renting is not as cheap as buying in the long run. See, this tool adds that extra layer of nuance and really helps us see the whole picture.
All right, so we've measured the problem with our quantifiers and we've weighed the options with our comparatives. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's combine these two powerful tools and see how they lead Elena to a clear, logical, and really smart final decision.
This is the moment where it all just clicks into place. We've looked at the pieces separately, but the real power of this Economist kit comes when you put it all together. So let's see what happens when David lays it all out for Elena.
And there it is, the perfect summary. Let's break it down. The problem? The city flat is too expensive. The solution? The house is big enough. And the final comparison? It's also cheaper. By using these simple little grammar tools, the smart choice becomes, well, obvious.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. Grammar isn't just some abstract system you have to memorize for a test. No way. When you use it correctly, it becomes a seriously powerful instrument for logical thinking. It helps you cut through all the confusion and bring sharp clarity to the really important decisions in your life.
So, I want you to think about a choice you're facing right now, whether it's big or small. What is too much of a problem for you? What would be enough for a solution? And when you compare your options, which one is actually better, or cheaper, or easier? Go on, try applying the Economist kit. I think you'll be surprised by the clarity you find.